Okay, class, so now that we've gone over those standards and why grocery bagging is an important task to be able to do, we're going to get into actually bagging the groceries. So I've broken this down into several steps, and the first step I want you guys to do when you're bagging groceries is to survey how many you have. So to get a visual picture of how many bags you might need to see what types of groceries are on the table. So in this case, we have cheese and yogurt for our dairy products. We have Canadian bacon and ground beef for our meat products. We have some frozen strawberries, peanut butter and oatmeal for our dry goods. And we also picked up some Tide laundry detergent and a gallon of water. Now, the next step in this process is going to, after we've surveyed the landscape of what we bought, we want to pick out any items that aren't going to need a bag. And what I mean by that is anything heavier, I'd say, or as heavy as a gallon water jug, you're not going to want a bag. Personally, in this case, it's because more than likely the bag tends to break. So what I'm going to have the class do is set these items aside. So in this case, the gallon of water and the Tide, which is also equally as heavy, are going to be set aside. So now that we have set those aside, I'm going to organize the groceries in the manner in which they should be bagged. So going along with our dairy bag, we look at what we have and we realize that yogurt and the cheese are dairy products. Moving on to our meats. We realize that Canadian bacon and ground beef are both meats, but remember, going back to the standards of a good job, these meats come from different types of animals, so we would want to separate them even further. We only have one frozen item, which is the strawberries. And lastly, the dried goods are combined together as well. So now that we have organized our groceries into a manner that's going to provide the best organization and safety for us in terms of the food health, we can start bagging the groceries. So the first bag that I have is the dairy bag. You want to make sure that you get some air in it and then gently place the items in the bag. We will do so for the meats, the ground beef in its own bag, and the Canadian bacon in another. We will bag the dry goods. And last but not least, put the frozen items in the frozen bag. Now that all the grocery items have been bagged, you are ready to exit the store.